Hi, my name's Kason Smith, though you probably know me as William Smith because the online learning software keeps telling you I'm William. You see William on the screen, so many keep calling me William, including professors. I know I'm not the only one facing this issue, but we really need to add another field in the database so we can choose our screen names. Other websites are doing this now, and it cuts down on confusion and creates a much better online experience. The way we're doing it now is just wrong, and we need to fix it. Now, let's talk about millennials and how they lack social skills. First, we need to find some millennials. Look, there's some now. Shh, don't make a noise or any sudden movements or you'll scare them off. Who am I kidding? They're so into their digital world, they don't even know we're here. If we're going to judge a book by its cover, something older generations explicitly warned us not to do, it's easy to think this generation lacks social skills, particularly if you're a baby boomer like me, since we have legendary rock and roll imagery which looks a lot like these two. If you're not familiar with The Who's rock opera Tommy, it's about a deaf, dumb, and blind kid, that's a quote, who miraculously was an expert at playing pinball. Naturally being deprived of his senses at a young age, he lacked a great deal of social skills. At one point, his followers wore blinders and earplugs to simulate Tommy's experience. However, millennials have the exact opposite problem, don't they? If anything, they're suffering from sensory overload. Looking closer, we also might find that they are being very social. Keeping up with friends with Facebook or Twitter, chatting with others via instant messaging, texts, or an ancient form of digital communication called email. They check in with family, perform work duties, do homework, play games, watch videos, and listen to music, often all at the same time. They are socializing. It's just that socializing is fundamentally different today due to technology. Hence, it looks very different. And it's easy to misunderstand what you're seeing. Consider this example from the Peabody Award-winning show South Park.
Come on, we have to finish the quest in Stonehaven.
Stan!
Hang on, guys, my dad wants something.
Stan!
What?
You've been on your computer all weekend. Shouldn't you go out and socialize with your friends?
I am socializing. I'm logged on to an MMORPG with people from all over the world and getting XP with my party using TeamSpeak.
Stan's aggravation is actually quite understandable. His father stopped him from doing the very thing he was being told to do, namely socializing. It was like he walked onto the court where his son was playing a basketball game with his friends, only to complain his son wasn't playing basketball with his friends. Huh? For millennials, physical proximity is not required in order to be sociable. It may not look like they're socializing because there's nobody near them, but in many cases, they are. Further, this new type of socializing requires new types of social skills. They also need to exercise good judgment when choosing the medium by which they socialize.
I have tickets to the show. Anybody wants them? Message me.
I'll take them.
I said to message me, not post it in the comments. I disregard your request.
Come on, man.
No, follow private message procedures. You went rogue, now look at us. Having it out in the comment section.
Dude, you've turned into a monster.
You made me this way.
Are they lacking social skills? Or are the social skills they need today just very different from those of previous generations? Millennials also tend to be very honest about things they think need changing. This may seem rude to some. Remember my diatribe about the screen name? You may have been annoyed with how I presented the problem to you, and of course that's exactly why I did it. Because millennials may approach you very much the same way. It's how they communicate, hey, can we try to improve this a little bit? True, there's a time and place for everything, and because they're younger, they may not understand this yet, but is it so unacceptable to bring up issues sooner rather than later? I mean, wouldn't you appreciate knowing who you're really talking to in class? And for the record, I understand the limitations of software, and I don't mind too much if you call me William. Millennials might be agitated because fixing the software for the better is just the right thing to do, and to many of them, it's an easy fix. Of course, technology has affected millennials' social skills, just like it affected our social skills when we were growing up. So perhaps we should cut them some slack. I mean, clearly, a disembodied voice is more important here than a real live human being, isn't it? Hey, shouldn't these family members be talking with each other? Playing checkers, maybe? Oh, nice. A whole group of people who simply don't have time to socialize with one another. Must read. Darn that Gutenberg. After all this being said, research supports the fact millennials prefer to work in groups. They also prefer teaching to and learning from each other. They also have a strong belief in social community. True, before class they may be socializing electronically, but they also very much like spending time with each other in person. With so much technology at their disposal, millennials can actually socialize with more people more often over a larger geographical area than any other previous generation in history. Lacking social skills, they may in fact be too social, which brings up another issue. Are millennials giving up their privacy? Considering how social they truly are, it's possible they give away too much information. A simple comment or goofy picture can exclude them from really important opportunities. Employers and even colleges use social media too, but for very different reasons. Now, tech-savvy millennials are better skilled in figuring out the proper software security settings to protect themselves. They also understand the value of using a fictitious screen name, added to which they've developed a good sense for identifying scams, both online and in real life, so they have all that going for them. Still, Don Tapscott, a well-known author of books about millennials, claim they are absolutely giving up their privacy. This is a tough subject for older generations to teach younger generations. The importance of privacy is hard enough to explain as it is, but when we also consider the lackluster job we've done protecting our own privacy, the job is even harder. For years, we have allowed our addresses to be listed in phone books, tax records, and voting rolls, which are easily available to the public, including criminals. We should have developed ways to be able to publicly verify much of this information without giving too much of it away. We've also used Social Security numbers as identification numbers for many organizations, including schools. We have often willfully given out personal phone numbers and email addresses to merchants simply because they asked for it. Of course, this information gets used for telemarketing and spamming, and then they sell it to other companies who use it for telemarketing and spamming. Another reason the older generation may not have much credibility in the eyes of younger generations is because the people we help to elect don't particularly care about our privacy. Or worse, claim giving up our constitutional rights to privacy are necessary for our own good.
This administration also puts forward a false choice between the liberties we cherish and the security we provide. I will provide our intelligence and law enforcement agencies with the tools they need to track and take out the terrorists without undermining our Constitution and our freedom. That means no more illegal wiretapping of American citizens. No more national security letters to spy on citizens who are not suspected of a crime.
But I think it's important to recognize that you can't have 100% security and also then have 100% privacy.
Of course, you can never have 100% security even with 0% privacy. False choices, Mr. President?
So what I wanted to see is if you could give me a yes or no answer to the question, does the NSA collect any type of data at all on millions or hundreds of millions of Americans?
No, sir.
It does not.
Not wittingly. There are cases where they could inadvertently, perhaps, collect, but not wittingly.
Millennials appreciate sincerity, so perhaps if we're honest about this subject, specifically on how bad of a job we've done in this area, perhaps they'll listen. And thank you for listening.